We've all been at points in our lives where we have thought, I wish I could go back to the good old days, to when everything was easier, to when I was younger and carefree. This nostalgia, this longing, this wishful thinking is toxic, and this mindset that comes from nostalgia, which literally comes from the word for pain, is destroying the mindset and progression of our lives. So how do we learn to enjoy life through its trials, its challenges, its ups and downs? This is what I'm going to go through today. Hi guys, it's Michael and welcome back to my channel. The phrase, stop hoping for your life to get easier, can seem daunting, it can seem pessimistic, and it can seem like the entire future of our lives are destined to go towards some sort of race filled with tasks and duties that we'll never be able to get out of. But while this idea may seem pessimistic, this entire mindset is the way to view life in the present and to enjoy life to the fullest. And today I'm going to go through 5 rules as to how to fix our mindset so that we can enjoy life in the present and to stop longing so much for the past when everything seemed to have been easier. Rule number 1. Everything is either a task or a celebration. Every time we go through our lives, we are met with so many different things every single day. But when we look at life in the grand scheme of things, we can only see it through 2 lenses. Firstly, the tests. The tests are what make us stronger. The tests are what make us develop as a person, what helps us grow and become the person that we became today. It improves us for the better, even though it may feel uncomfortable at the time. Second are the celebrations. The celebrations of your achievements, what you have accomplished, anything that is worth celebrating, or any time in life when you're simply having a good time with the people around you. Everyone's lives are made up of these 2 components, and everything else is null. Everything else does not matter because those are the only 2 things that really are running through your life in a cycle. You're either going through some sort of test or you're going through some sort of celebration. And that's the simplest way to categorize the events of your life, and it's perhaps the simplest way to view life. We can always look at what we're doing right now, this test that we're going through, with utter annoyance and discomfort and complete pain in our minds. But if we were to look right now at what we were doing as a test, then we would understand that the future holds celebration, the future holds accomplishment. Even if we mess up what we're doing right now, we learn from our mistakes and go back again to do another test in our life and to go and accomplish something for the near future. Looking at life with this mindset firstly, and understanding that life can be categorized into 2 main sort of events, is the first step to understanding why you should not hope that your life will get easier. That leads to rule number 2. Stop hoping that your relationships will get easier. And the way I categorize relationships, I see it as 3 areas. Firstly, family. Secondly, friends, and third, romantic relationships. All 3 factors, if they are supportive and well-meaning for your success in your future, will have one thing in common. They will poke you and push you to succeed in life because they want to see you thrive, they want to see you succeed, and they want to see you grow as a person. In an example with family, if you're a student or in elementary school and you got back your test and you got 100 on it, then it is an apt time for celebration. You may get a congratulations from your parents and they may treat you to something. But after that, the bar has risen because the parents want to see their child succeed. They want to see their child grow and develop to become a successful adult, which is why a lot of the times the support that we may feel from our parents may not be as expressed. We may see something as a challenge, but then say, oh, but I've been already doing this. And that is why a lot of the times parents will see different siblings through different lenses. If you're the sibling who is always striving to achieve the best and you're always ahead, but your sibling does the bare minimum and perhaps gets praise for what they've done, it's because they're in different baselines and you cannot compare yourself with people in different stages of your lives. For example, everybody has different talents in different areas, and you may be good in academics, but your sibling may be good in some other areas that may very well contribute to the success in their life. Thus, it is important to realize that you cannot compare your parents' praise to other people in your family or other siblings because they're only trying to do what's best for you if your family is truly hoping for the best for you. In some cases, there are families that aren't supportive of their children and it's simply some sort of abusive cycle. And if that is the case, then it is important to escape that abusive cycle. But in the majority of cases, parents do want to see the best for their child, not only because they want to see their own children succeed, but because they also know that they will look to their children for support in the future. That's why your parents are always trying to get you to do something and always trying to improve you from your baseline, because they know that you can do better and they want to keep pushing you to become the best person that you could be in your life. Friends are another example of this. It is said that we are the average of the 5 people we hang out the most with, and that makes the friends that we have, or the people that we keep close to us, one of the most important things that we can determine in our lives. If our friends are always the ones that are going out, doing something, and not doing anything to improve their lives, then perhaps when we are younger, it can be a good sort of time to have fun with these people, but the people that one should be hanging out with are people who are destined to improve themselves and to improve their lives for success in the future. There's always a good balance between working hard and celebrating in the meantime, but if one has a group of friends that does not care about improving themselves or does not care about the success of their future, then you must move on from people and go to find friendships with people who will support you and push you to do the best that you can. This goes the same with relationships. A lot of the times you may show some sort of sign of success and celebration to the people who you're close with, but then they sort of nag you or bother you about something that seems so minuscule in comparison. And the reason that your friends or anybody you're close with is doing this is because they want to see you succeed. It's all the same pattern. And if you're a good friend, then you should be pushing your friends to succeed as well, not only celebrating their accomplishments, but also pushing them to do the next best thing that they can with their lives. That is why life should never get easier. That is why you should always be striving for success. And you should not take the criticisms of the people you are close to as something that is trying to put you down. In fact, a lot of the times the criticisms that people poke at you are to make sure that you are a strong, confident individual and that you can progress past these criticisms, take them in if they're necessary to help improve your life or your success, and then move on to become the next best person that you can be in the next stage of your life. The third rule is to stop hoping for the completion of anything in life. A lot of the times we have so many different events in our lives, whether social, academic, work-related, that will end up having a lack of completion. For example, you may be reaching out to a certain friend, but over time that friend doesn't want to respond as quickly to you, or that friend doesn't make as much effort to hang out with you anymore. In that case, you may not get a direct reason as to why this friendship is fading out, but it is happening and you have to accept it. You will not get an explanation for a lot of the things in life, and it's important to understand that you won't get a completion for a lot of the things in life, not only in a social aspect, but a lot of the times some work or project that you may be doing just will be better off not completed. And it is important to understand and distinguish when something that you are doing is futile and when it's better to simply drop the effort that you're putting in and to move on to something better for your life. Now, although some things are better left undone, it is important for major life events or major life changes that wherever you go, you leave an organized and clear exit and do not burn any bridges. In other words, if you're working at a certain firm and you decide that your new purpose in life is to do something completely different, then you should slowly phase out and make a clean exit from the company and leave in a positive light. You should make sure that you have done everything that you can to make hiring the next person as easy as possible. And you can simply move on with your life knowing that the things that you have left in your path have been done well and have been completed and have not caused any trouble for the people who are still at that area. Rule number 4 follows on along this idea, and it is to be willing to change everything in your life. If you are working in some sort of position or you find yourself doing something with your life, but then suddenly you just feel this sense of completion or boredom with what you're doing, then it may be a sign that your life has completed this stage and that you should be looking for your next deeper purpose. This may take time. It may take time to figure out what you want to do with your life, but a lot of people, when they figure out that they want to do something different with their lives, remain scared of the change that's going to happen. But the reason we look back with such fondness is because life seemed to work itself out. But the secret is that life always does this. Life always has a reason for the things that happen to you. And because of this, it is important to take the signs that come into our lives, the signs that we need to change, and to act on them so that we're not stuck in the same place for years, even decades, doing something that we do not truly find ourselves passionate about. If our purpose in one area is completely finished, then we must move on and be willing to move on from that area of our life so that we can further develop ourselves as an individual. And it may not be the easiest path, but it is the most fulfilling path, because we will understand our purpose even better the more we follow the signs of change in our life. The final rule, rule number 5, is to find your purpose. And perhaps this is easier said than done because it is one of the most complicated things that we can do with our life. In general, finding one's purpose is not something that we can simply figure out in a day, in a week. It can take a very, very long time, and even I don't know exactly what I'm destined to do with my life, but I trust that I will be able to figure it out and get closer and closer to it with the passage of time, as long as I make an effort to figure it out. In general, the idea of finding one's purpose is to simply go and figure out something that one seems to have an interest in. For example, if you're going to college, then you might figure out one specific area that you want to work in your life. But then when you graduate college and work in that field for a while, you may feel that you have fully developed yourself in that area. You may feel a certain boredom and that you must move on from that portion of your life. Going back to rule 4, the ability to move on when you know that you have completed a certain area in your life. And then it becomes sort of like peeling an onion. You go from the most outer layer into a deeper layer that goes closer and closer to your fulfilling your deepest purpose. For example, you may want to go into philanthropy, or you may want to do something in a completely different sector. You may want to travel for a while to understand yourself, and that is completely fine to do, but the biggest component is to follow these signs in our life, to find our deeper purpose, and to keep going with time, enjoying what we do to the fullest, and to be able to say that we're going closer and closer to our deepest purpose in our life. Because then we will be able to look back at our lives and say that we truly fulfilled what we could have done with our life, or became as close to it as possible, rather than looking back at our lives the entire time when we're in the present for nostalgia for the past in which everything was figured out. And that is why we need to stop hoping for our lives to get easier. Stop hoping for your life to get easier, and we can live a truly fulfilling life. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video.